Hi Borderlands community, it's Pi with 2 eyes. Last week, I found a new setup for glitching into Knoxx's Armory in Borderlands Remastered, saving approximately 5 minutes per run over the standard farm. This equates to about a 50% increase in chests per hour, but I'll go more into detail about that later. To my knowledge, this setup only works on PC, as it relies on spamming the jump button very quickly to bunny hop up a steep slope. I use my scroll wheel to do this, and I don't know of any console analog. To be able to do this farm, you need to be on either the final quest or Marcus's 2 subsequent quests in the Knoxx DLC. Those are the quests Loot Larceny, Supermarket Sweep, or It's Like Christmas. The setup is very similar to Jolt's video that he uploaded a few years ago, which I've linked in the description. Even though he provided a great explanation of his setup, I'll run through it in its entirety for continuity's sake. In the background here, I'm running through Knoxx Farm the standard way, starting from T-Bone Junction, doing the classic 5-minute crazy taxi simulator. Make sure to loot these 2 chests at the end of Road's End. Killing Knoxx, entering the armory with the standard glitch, which is standing in the corner right here, if you didn't know, and looting the armory. After you finish, don't save quit, but just kill yourself. I'm killing myself with an Undertaker for style. If you don't have an Undertaker, you're going to have significantly less style. When you respawn, turn around and walk into Road's End, and head back into the Crimson Armory. This is actually the mechanic that resets the chests. Stock up on grenades, clear your inventory, and head back into Knoxx's area. You'll notice the door's closed, so we're going to use some clever game mechanics to get over this wall. You want to walk over to this sloped concrete structure. The previous strategy was to jump on this little thing and grenade jump up here. Though possible, this jump is extremely precise. I end up losing more time to failing that grenade jump than I would gain from not having to drive back. But I figured out you can just jump up this concrete bit. The only problem is spamming spacebar won't work because we need maximum jump inputs to hopefully get caught on this texture of the very steep slope. My solution to this was to rebind my scroll wheel to spacebar using this auto hotkey script on screen. If your mouse has rebindable functionality, you can use that instead. You can also just rebind the jump key in game, but I don't recommend that as having spacebar as jump feels comfortable when doing the next set of jumps. The downside to having your scroll wheel as jump is menuing becomes more clunky. However, the only time you really menu while doing this is to buy more grenades, so it's not really that huge of a deal in my opinion. This is really consistent setup, guys. I'm able to bunny hop up this wall in like 5 or 10 seconds every time, which makes the rest of the setup viable for farming the armory. After you get up on top of the concrete bit, there are 2 more difficult grenade jumps that you have to hit. I would recommend a low-level explosive longbow, as it has the shortest fuse time with explosive grenades. When you throw these, you have to be careful not to throw directly on the crack between textures, as the nade will just disappear through the ground. The first jump is quite precise. Throw it on the edge where the 2 textures meet, and you want to try to get really good height on this one. With some practice, you'll be able to reach this bar consistently. The next jump is about the same difficulty as the first one. You want to throw the nade against the wall, like this, so it tumbles back onto the bar. If you throw it straight down, there's a high likelihood it just goes through the bar. After you throw it, jump up and slightly to the outside. When the nade boosts you, you'll be able to strafe back to the inside and land on the bar. This will also take some practice, but it's only 2 tricky grenade jumps. I was able to be pretty consistent after 10 or so runs. The last step is just a trivial grenade jump up to the top here. It's not precise at all. If you run out of grenades, you can just head back to the shop and buy more, so it's not very punishing. I'll run through the whole process in real time here, so you can get an idea of how it looks efficiently. After you make it to the top, run on top of this wall and jump down to the other side. Perform the standard armory glitch, and you're back in, lads. One thing to keep in mind for crimson chests, and by extension pearlescent farming, all the crimson chests will be reset except for 3. These are the 3 on top of the tic-tac-toe board, as I like to call it. These will always stay open unless you exit the game. You should still check these compartments though, as there will always be 3 chests in the tic-tac-toe board which spawn in a random spot. This brings the total output in the armory to 21 chests, down from 24 in the standard setup. Taking into account the 2 Crimson chests at the end of Road's End that you'd naturally get from doing the standard setup, we actually have 26 chests in standard and only 21 per run in this new method. However, the time save makes up for it. At my fastest, I was able to make 7-minute runs from T-Bone Junction as opposed to 2-minute runs from this method. Given that Armory runs take about 4 minutes if you're only going for Crimson chests and Pearls, we get about 140 chests per hour with the regular method and 210 chests per hour with this new method. That's a chest increase of 50%, which is pretty massive. I'm looking forward to using this method to finally nail down pearlescent drop rates and legendary to pearl ratios from Crimson chests. This is my first video, so if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, I'd love to hear them. If you like this video, consider subscribing. I'll be making more videos similar to this one as I find more interesting things to share, including in the upcoming Borderlands 3. Happy hunting, and I'll catch you in the next one.